Yo, what's poppin'?
Hey.
What's going on?
What's going on? We are in the building once again. This is your girl, Lady Free.
And I'm your boy, Pastor J.
And y'all
By the
listen.
way,
Uh-oh.
we do own the rights to that music.
Hey. Listen.
Yes, we do.
For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we want to say thank you for joining Shift Real Talk TV.
Yes.
Tonight, we are airing Shift Real Talk Tuesdays. We air every Tuesday at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time.
And every Sunday at 8 o'clock on channel49tv.com.
That's right. All right. Now, listen. This is the show where you're going to find love, life, and relationships. And we talk about the truth behind it all. So today, if you have not already subscribed, make sure that you take the time to share this content. Tell any and everybody who you believe needs to understand more about love, life, and relationships. Today we have our guest back once again.
Yes.
For part two
of
of Behind the Scars. We have Miss Tiffani R. Singz. Welcome.
Thank you, guys.
This is her music, y'all. We're going to let it play just a little bit. True artist.
She feeling her own music. I like that. That's good, man. This is dope.
Yeah,
It's
I like
funny.
that.
We'll talk about how those verses came about.
Right.
Yes. Let's
Tiffani
welcome
R.
Miss Tiffani R.
Singz. We are so grateful to have you on the show today.
Thank you guys so much for
You
the
are
invitation.
so welcome.
For having me back. I love your show and I love what you guys are doing.
Well, thank you.
As a couple, married couple, and
Thank you.
encouraging to people. So continue to do it.
Thank you so much,
Because
Tiff.
let me tell you, sometimes being married, I love it. This is a journey that I would not give for another. And at the same time, because we do have this ministry, we get fought more, I believe, by the enemy than we did before we started. But this is material.
Absolutely.
This is just information for somebody else to grow. So we good.
And it's so awesome because God is really like sending the people to us. We're not even going out to we will start going out, but before we go out, God is sending the married people to
said,
us.
with loving
Right.
kindness
Yes.
have I drawn thee.
Right.
So he gonna do the drawing. But yes. So
Yes, we're back. We did not finish the conversation last week. I think we kind of touched on a couple of things, but today I really kind of wanted to dig in to those scars.
dig deeper.
We wanted to dig into those scars, man, and so we thank you for coming back. Thank you. I know you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
We know you got a flight to catch in the morning going to Japan.
Tyler Perry.
Okay. And listen, it's like I
No, I'm not going to Tyler Perry.
I kind of subtitled this Pieces of She.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
Because these are your pieces behind the scars.
Yes.
So, without further ado, tell us a little bit more about what that's all about for you behind the scars.
Well, I think that everyone, I know that everyone goes through a journey. We all have our own journey.
Yeah.
We know that God created us all differently and we're here. We all have a purpose, right, on this earth. My journey seems to be a little bit tougher, and I know why now, because the gift that God gave me from when I was a little girl, and that's singing, right? So singing, ministering, anytime you're put to encourage somebody or be a light and you have that gift, it's going to be tough because the enemy does not want you to help his children come to the light or to be encouraged. He's trying to, even now, take our children out, just get in our homes and just take control of our mind. If he could take control of our mind, then we know, hey, everything else is going down the drain.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's where your direction is.
So just to kind of like go on to there was a topic that we really didn't finish last week that I wanted to, kind of like ask you questions about. You said you had a problem with the weight.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That your weight. So, I want you to tell us about that.
Right. So, as I was talking to her earlier today, she was asking me questions, and I said, hey, what people can see was the physical weight, or is the physical weight, because we live in a society where everybody's just, hey, this is how you should look, and, but knowing people that I know that do deal with weight issues, I know that it's a deep-rooted issue that causes them to hold on to the weight. Mm-hmm. So I'll talk on that because we see the physical, we judge the physical, but we don't know what caused this person to, I guess, become attached to food. Or and if it's not food for one person, it's alcohol, or it's drugs, right? Right. So what was it that caused that person to find comfort in that thing? So yes, for me, it was the weight thing, because like I told you last time, in school, it was, the chubby girl or the fat girl or the fat dark skinned girl, because in our community, we still discriminate within our community. Yeah. And so, but that didn't mean I wasn't gifted or, smart. Right. And now it's like, it took me all this time to get here because I am an educator, and I went back to education because there are a lot of young girls who, they harm themselves because they don't look like, example, the Kardashians or, someone on TV.
Right. Yeah.
But it's important for us to motivate our young ladies. Hey, you have something to give. You have something to impart. It's not just about how you look, because you can do a lot of things with how you look, but what do you have here?
Right.
Absolutely. So the weight with sharing with others is, you can't let go of any physical weight until you let go of the mental weight.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And the mental weight being, okay, not for me, but for some, I was molested when I was a kid. Or, my mother left me when I was a kid. Wow. My dad did this when I was a kid. Okay. Whatever that weight may be, you've got to heal from that before your outer appearance reflects that on that inside.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So quick question. I know a lot of women who are very comfortable in their state of weight. You know what I'm saying? Because for some reason, this is like some women who are have that weight on them. They're very confident in who they are.
Right.
Sometimes they like, I'm big, but I'm pretty, But most, you good because you're a pretty young lady.
Yeah.
So what was it about the weight that made you feel you needed to change? In what was inside of you? What was it about your weight?
So I'll share this story. About maybe 4 years ago, there was a big production. I won't name it, but it was a big production casting. I drove 4 hours for the audition. Got there, did my thing, like outsang a bunch of people. And here comes this, I'll say, light-skinned, she looked like she wore a size 2.
Oh, wow.
Could not sing.
Wow.
Could not sing, but they picked her, right? So my focus began to change because I said, if I want to do this professionally and I want to get paid gigs and I want to do this, I'm going to have to change my appearance.
Wow.
Because even though I could sing better than whoever, if I don't look good enough to the casting director or to that person that's casting,
Right.
I'm not going to get cast.
Right.
So I accepted that I'm in a society that, may not choose me because of my color of my skin, right?
Right.
So I've got to go a step above, and I've got to do more if I want to pursue this, singing, acting professionally. So that's part of why I started, hey, I got to do this. I got to change this. I'm going to have to, because I know my gift should be heard outside of the church because of the barriers that are in the church. So
Wow.
if I want to, go past that and do professional things more outside the church, I'm going to have to appease to what, the casting directors are looking for.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that happened.
Right. Okay.
Then a few health issues continued to happen.
Gotcha.
Right? So I got pregnant, and, I was married at the time and had my son. I say, hey, if God allows me to have my son, I'm going to make sure I do what I need to do so I could be here for my son.
Right.
So the focus then changed. Hey, my son needs me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those things, but it was a mental thing where I had to start talking to myself every day when I got tired. And there are people that know I did not go to people's homes for a whole year.
Wow.
I did not go to parties. I was in a zone.
Wow.
Literally, because I knew that I needed to get to the next place. And so some things that I have been allotted to do now, I knew I wouldn't be able to do had I not stayed in that zone. So I'd shut off people, and people were like, oh, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And felt away, but I had to be there. So when you're focused on something, if you think about Muhammad Ali, and you think about these great people, right? They stayed in a zone. They did not go here and there. If they wanted to win the fight, they went in that boxing ring every day.
Yeah.
So that's where we have to be if we want to, get things where we should have them or where we want to see them.
Yeah.
Right.
But-
So I know that you did say something when we were talking earlier. You were saying it's not just the physical weight, it's the emotional weight. You talked about that a little bit. And then you said it's the spiritual weight.
Yes.
What you mean by that?
So, spiritual meaning, okay, we go to church.
Right.
We've been singing, we just go there. But at that point when I think that it took a turn when my grandmother, my father's mother passed, because I would talk to her
Right.
every week. And these are actually some of her earrings, but I usually wear something of hers when I go somewhere.
Yeah.
But when she passed, I couldn't share certain things because grandma's like, hey, when grandma get a certain age, the girl, well, baby, this is what I did.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm judging you. I'm telling you what I did because they don't care, but they know we're young and we gonna make mistakes. So it's kind of like she was grandmother, but she was friend, right?
Right.
But when she passed, I was like, I don't have anybody else to share things or how I'm feeling and not feel like I'm being put in a box or being judged. So then I had to go to God, like every time.
Oh, wow.
Meaning, I was praying,
Yeah.
but I had to talk to him because you can't talk to everybody.
Can't talk to everybody. You better believe that.
So then the relationship with him became deeper, and I began fasting. Fasting not only helps the body, but it helps you mentally. Dr. Sebi talked about it clears the mind, right? So that was working. So I was fasting, and then the relationship with God was increasing.
Being stronger. Come on.
So then when he began to push me in a certain direction, and I knew it was him, because sometimes we just do stuff and off of what we want.
Right. Right.
But like I said last time, when I felt this push, and it's like, you don't need to go here, you need to go here. That's when things started lining up better.
Gotcha.
And the doors started to open.
Gotcha.
You know what's important. And I realize this a lot of times when things are denied to us or things don't happen, a lot of times we think it's because of who we are, or we think it's because how we look, but it's really not that. A lot of times it's God saying, not yet, or it's God saying, there's something that I'm protecting you from before I allow you to go there. So every denial, I always say, is God's protection.
Right.
So a lot of times, because I know the meanest skinny people.
Yeah,
I do. I know the meanest people in the world. Some people are they just that mean, because really a lot of times what we go through or what people go through, it shapes how they are later on in life.
Right.
So again, it's not about how you look or how you feel about yourself.
Right.
It's really what's inside of you. And a lot of times we take what we do, and my wife was just, listening to this the other day. It's not that you are not who you are, but you're not finished. God is not finished with you. He got you in the oven.
Yeah.
While he got you cooking.
Yeah.
A lot of times we want to get out the oven before we're done.
When we
Right.
half baked.
Yeah,
Exactly.
when we half baked.
Exactly.
So we want to get out of that oven,
Right.
and we want to, can I come out now?
I'm
And it's like,
ready.
yeah, no, you're not ready.
You're not ready
You got to. So God's saying, and then too, he kicked some, because I did that a lot. I just have the heart to really help people.
Right.
But a lot of times God had to allow things to happen for me to back up.
Absolutely.
I wanted to help them. And he was like, you're not God. Only I can help them.
Exactly.
That be me talking.
Yeah. My wife said, let it go. Let him go. Let it go.
Baby,
So
get out the way.
So,
You get whooped
yeah,
for
you
them.
get
Right.
and a lot of times I would get the beating. God, I'm not done with him.
Right.
And
Right.
you get
Not only would he get the beating, but because I am one with him, I have to be moving out
Right.
the way too. I'd be like, I don't want they whips. I don't want theirs.
I don't want to do it.
Come on.
So what it does now, it really causes us now to keep pushing through obstacles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It allows us to keep pushing through things and keep going, because, God places things in front of us really to kind of really listen or so he can get his attention and we can talk to him.
Right.
So pushing through obstacles. I'm sure you had to push through
Oh, yes.
a lot of things that you just had to.
Yeah.
Before we go there, listen. When you was talking about, and it just hit me, when you was talking about the weight.
Right.
I want people to understand, in a nutshell, just to sum it all up. I had weight issues.
Right.
My weight issues came from, and my father didn't mean this, but he just understood what it was like when my mother, she had a brain tumor. She ended up having to take some medicine with steroids in it. My mother was really small, then she gained weight.
Okay.
So my father, I'm sure, saw the discomfort of how unhappy she was in her weight, right? Because she wasn't used to that. And one thing he used to say to me, Alma, all right, push back from the table.
Right.
He would say stuff like, you finna have another portion? Stuff
Right.
like that. And I'm like, Daddy, like, that's not nice.
And we can talk about that. I'm gonna stop you right there because it was me and my sister. I was always the bigger one.
Me too.
And so my dad, he wasn't that nice. And Daddy, sorry, but this is the real. He would say things that would damage me. Right. So when I would get in a relationship, because it's gonna help somebody. When I would get in a relationship, if you said something that triggered
what you heard. Yeah.
I lost it.
My God.
Because what Daddy used to say, how Daddy used to categorize me,
Wow.
was still there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But the old school men didn't understand how to operate,
How to help
with a young lady.
Come on. Yeah.
And if they really be honest, I'm not gonna say all the men, because we got some that really knew how to nurture the young women, right? The young girls. But all the old school men, most of them didn't know how.
Right.
So then saying certain things, that's like a dad saying something to his daughter or a mom saying something to her son.
Right.
That is hurtful, because you're the first opposite sex that
is going to impart
right
into me.
Exactly.
Listen, and I knew he didn't mean to hurt me.
Wait a minute. I gotta say something. Wait a minute. Hold on. I gotta say something about the dads now.
Wait.
I got you. Wait a minute. Hold on now. No. And this is the truth now. Because a lot of times, to be honest with you, it was certain things her dad said, but what she did, that was still her model. Because no matter what, she referred back to, my dad was this. My dad was a provider. So when a man came and said, "Oh, we got to do this together," and she'd be like, "No," because my dad showed me.
We're not partners.
Yeah, we're not partners.
So my daddy.
Yeah. Right. My dad said so. So the thing is, even though, and a lot of times we don't really understand why things were said, and we'll probably never understand.
I understand now.
And we'll never understand it at that young age.
Right.
But as we get older, you know what I'm saying, there's things that, because I didn't really understand about being a parent until I became a parent.
Right.
And I really realized that, man, I had to be hard sometimes. It was sometimes that I really wanted to just knock my son out. And I had to, because it came to that point.
And yes, you have to do that. And I think that, well, there's a handbook. There are handbooks that have been written.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, our children can't get it like that.
Yes.
Why? On. Because from slavery, we went through the tough stuff, right? And that's just embedded in us. It's in us. This patty cake go to the wall is not going to work for our kids.
The peace table does not work for our kids.
No, that don't work for our kids.
That's just not.
And if we could just be honest.
I'm from the old school.
If we could just be honest.
I can't say it on Facebook because we'll get shut down.
But this real talk, and I like back in the day when we were privy to having an opinion. So my opinion is, the people in the big houses used to call Big Mama to help raise their kids.
Correct.
So that just goes to show you that something that Big Mama was doing, if you understand what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Something that Big Mama was doing that they could not get across to their kids, but their kids respected Big Mama because it was something about the way she would look at them with authority.
Right.
Didn't have to say nothing. Or the way she would do certain things. So why change that now? It was already working for you, and you knew that. You caught that.
Exactly.
Now all of a sudden we have to change the way we raising our kids to do it like how you did it.
Right.
And the way you did it never worked. But anyway, I digress. But hold up, because you stopped me in
I'm sorry.
We have an important.
That's Pastor Mia.
You know what? Let me tell you something.
That's why I was like, I wanted to come back.
Kenya Marriott.
Yeah, Kenya Merritt.
Marriott.
And Pastor Mia is on the phone.
I have been seeing your comments, and I wanted to stop. So I'm gonna bypass my comment, and we're gonna go.
Don't bypass it, but just come back to it.
She's been saying some good stuff.
And Mia Williams put something as well.
She said that the skinny women, they are mean because of their hurt and pain. And I agree with that in so many cases, because that's what it is. She also said, this is Kenya, I just came out of something because of disobedience. Honey, when we disobedient, we just got to understand it comes with something. So when you get out, baby, stay out. Who was it?
Mia.
Pastor Mia.
Pastor Mia, she says, my weight issues came from incest and molestation.
Wow.
I figured if I gain weight, I would be unattractive, but the more weight I gained, the more men hit on me. Even after being delivered, a habit had been formed that has to be broken. I still fluctuate. My God. Wow, baby. That's something, because we think that weight causes men to run, and sometimes they feel like it's just more to hold.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of men
so let me say,
like big.
The weight has not ever been an issue. Let's laugh
right
there.
I'm trying to tell you. It's not. I'm telling you.
But when you little and you getting picked on by other kids, you think in your mind that it is. So you form these bad body images of yourself.
Yeah.
Like everybody else looking at you saying, you not big or you beautiful.
Oh, I like big women. They said seriously.
And it's like you have to get into
I know a lot of men that like big women.
Yeah. And why is it always the tall, skinny men that like the little bit, the big old women? And like I forgot which comedian said said they look like a 10 walking down the street, a 1 and a 0. But anyway.
But I wanted to go back to what you said, Jesse, when you said that, a lot of the, bigger women, they have this thing, I know I'm pretty, I know I look good, because the society has beat up on big women so much. If
okay, I got you.
We had not started this revolution, we're still beautiful.
Yeah.
We're still important. Then because a lot of people have killed themselves, unfortunately, due to not feeling accepted, not feeling loved, right? So we want to make sure that, once again, our mental is, I'm important still.
Yes.
I matter.
Yes.
But that I will go back to the other side of that. That does not mean stay unhealthy.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. Now.
Okay.
That's the other side of the coin.
So here's the truth of it. Every man not gonna like you. So if when they meet you, women, when they meet you, you are too big, I want you to get up from that date and say, hey, nice meeting you.
Right.
I'ma go.
That's right.
Because your attraction, your light, it's shallow.
Right.
It's not based off of who I am.
Right.
It's based off because I'm too big for you.
Yes.
Okay. So if I were to get hurt and I gain weight, you ain't gonna care about me at all. You gonna throw me away
and get a smaller
It cannot be off of that.
Right. Absolutely not.
See, Raphael, Pastor Raphael said, it is all about character. Size is not an issue for me.
And
Pastor
that's a man.
Peter.
That's a man.
Yeah.
It's a man's word.
That's the youth pastor
word.
right there.
Yes.
Right.
That's what mature men say.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they understand that if it's inside of you, that's
it's inside.
beautiful.
I'm telling you.
You could be like Pastor Jay said, you could be a small, skinny person and be angry. You could be a big, beautiful woman and be just the sweetest pie.
Right. And
it's what's inside.
It takes a strong man to activate.
Come on.
That woman.
Come on.
To get her to see you can be better.
Right.
So if you gonna leave me because I'm too big for you right now, you're not strong enough to help me.
You wasn't the
change,
guy.
That's
right?
Because that's what that's what motivators do. They help you see where you think you're down.
Yeah.
They help you see who you are. You can be
right.
better. This is what you know.
If you are not a motivator, like
right.
you just said, if you're not a cultivator, then you're not the guy.
But you know what though,
Period.
that is, most women gotta understand that, because when they look for a man, they look for love. They look for, how is this man gonna love me? And that is the wrong way to look for a man.
Come on.
Because the way God designed it is a certain type of man that you gotta look for. When he placed that man in the Garden of Eden, he said, this is God's presence. So and then he said, you must work, and then you must cultivate.
Right.
Come on.
Cultivate the presence of God.
Cultivate the presence of God.
Cultivate the presence of God.
Exactly.
So when he's able to do that,
Yes.
then
because in the presence of God, you're not going to find that guy.
You're not going to hurt in the presence of God.
Or those superficial things mean
exactly.
everything.
They don't exactly.
No.
So and we can get off this because we can talk about this all
Oh
night.
my God.
There are women who are a size 2. Shout out to y'all. You doing it right. This ain't no hate comment.
Right.
But they don't do anything else. They just look good. Right. So if brothers and men, you're going to go get someone because of the size that they wear, but they don't enhance you. You need somebody to enhance you too.
Right.
Yes.
Then you just have a trophy.
Right.
Okay.
And some women are right fit being a trophy.
Right. But you're not imparting anything into the man.
Right. Which means you're a dime a dozen. Because when you have something to impart, he sees that as precious. It's like, wait.
Yeah.
I can get the trophy anywhere, but I can't get this, what you give me, the thing that makes me feel like I'm a rich man.
Right.
Yeah, I can't get that everywhere, so I'm gonna hang on to you.
Right.
All right. So, like Pastor Jay was trying to get into earlier about the another piece of she. Another piece that you have shared with us that's behind your scars are the obstacles that you had to push past. Talk about that.
Where do I want to start? One of I'll mention this because this seems to be one of the things. Because I am attractive and can sing. A lot of men like to hear me sing.
Okay.
And that causes an issue if they're married or with someone. I don't have nothing to do with that.
Right.
I go where I go, I sing, I show up, I leave.
Yeah.
If they approach me, I have nothing to do with that either.
Right.
Right? That's
Amen.
them.
Come on.
How I respond or responded, okay, that was on me.
That's right.
But I have to deal with when I go different places because my gift is so great and I'm attractive to some. There's this intimidation kind of thing. So I find myself now making sure that I'm very cordial and open with the woman and because I've realized there are a lot of insecure women.
My God.
And this, they don't want to hear it, but this is true. There are a lot of insecure women because there are women that are in their 40s and 50s still walking around with hurts from their childhood.
That's the truth.
So we've put on this garment of leader, boss, but even still in your 50s and 60s, when someone comes with a gift and are attractive, you have this attitude toward them. They haven't done anything but shown up.
So you've experienced this.
Yes.
Because you're speaking like somebody with experience.
Yes. Because I realized maybe 3 years ago how impactful I was with my gift, right? So it's a lot of people that sing in Houston. We got a lot of great singers here.
Yes, you do.
And that's awesome. But everybody brings something different. And about 3-4 years ago, I realized I bring something different.
Only 3 or 4 years ago?
Yes.
My God.
Took me that long.
Okay.
Because it's not just the singing, it's your relationship. How do you develop relationships with people? But then again, some people will not allow you to develop the relationship because they're intimidated. And that I've experienced. So if I try, and you already know, if I try and, hey, whatever it is pulling you back, I've done all I can do.
Yeah. Because
God gave me this gift.
Right.
So that's one of the obstacles.
It's so funny because
and it's gotten worse because I was bigger and I've lost so much weight.
Yes.
Okay.
I see your little Facebook page.
So I'm still not a size 2.
Right.
And I noticed that. I've noticed that because I've just noticed that you pull back a lot, and yes, because sometimes when I see you, a lot of times, and this is not when you go out, to the other places
right.
to perform, but there's the specific places that you go, and I notice that you hold back. I notice that you really don't allow. It's like you say, "Hold on, God, I don't want to." It's almost like you bargaining with God, but you cannot do that because again, I'm talking to Tiffani, our Singz right now. You cannot do that because if God has gifted you, you have to allow that gift to do what it's supposed to do because you don't know. The full Tiffani could really actually help and change that insecure person. You know what I'm saying? It could actually, because a lot of times it's what God placed in us that's going to help that person.
That's true.
But a lot of times we go into our own head and our own headspace and we start thinking, no, I don't want to, I'm going to hold back because I don't want to intimidate nobody. And I really want you, and this is because I love you like a sister. I promise you I do. I really want you to even today, I want you to really have that in your mind, that I'm here to do what God called me to do, no matter what nobody feels about it, no matter what anybody thinks
Come
about
on.
what I'm doing, and no matter what, because it's not about you.
Right.
It's about
Right.
God.
Right.
So if we can lead people to God, if that is the focus, then who cares? Because that's not what it's about.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
you know what I heard? You said, because I'm a beautiful woman and I have a gift. You said my gift is great. You say little things that I feel like shows your confidence now.
Now.
And I heard somebody out there in the world, somewhere, somebody out there say, dog, she thinks she all that.
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, I love the fact that as a woman who understands and knows that God gifted you, that you give him the glory regardless.
Yes.
But you know that it's I who he is using
Exactly.
to have such a great gift. And there's nothing wrong with us saying God's gift is great. It's nothing wrong
Right.
with us saying the suit that God put me in is beautiful and I'm
Right.
very attractive.
Right.
It's nothing wrong with it, and I love that.
Right.
So now, when it comes down to even the gift, you say it's great. Share all of it.
True.
Share all of it. Don't hold back.
I just had someone tell me Sunday, hey, you're holding back. And I'm like, I don't even know I am. I guess because I'm so have been so
Conditioned to do
conditioned
it.
Yes.
conditioned myself
Yeah.
to not show off. I guess because it's not, I guess, even growing up, even with people here in the city, you know, people would say, oh, she thinks she all that, or da 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 da. And that, you know, I didn't want people to think that. But it's like now you can't, people gonna think what they're gonna think.
Yeah, why wouldn't you care? Why wouldn't you want somebody to
Because
think that?
That shows their insecurity.
It also shows ours when people say it to us and we hear it and it bothers us.
She took
Right.
that right out
Because
of my mouth.
when you, like, if I were to take my finger and poke your arm, it wouldn't bother you. You would probably be like, why you do that?
Right.
But if there was a sword there and I poked it, you'd be like, ow.
Right.
It will make you jump and give me a grimace and all of that. Like, what's
Right.
wrong with you? Probably would want to hit me back. The thing is, if it's not a sore spot there, then no matter what they say, it won't bother us.
Right.
That's why you do have people like, what's the young lady name that you said you really like? She's an artist.
Lizzo.
Lizzo. She has gone through it. But,
That's right,
but
Pastor.
a lot of the stuff she dealing with now, obviously she dealt with. And if you poke her, it'll only cause her to rise higher.
And write a song
And- come on.
and keep recording
Right.
and put it out there, because that was one of the things I y'all, I get up in the morning. I'm gonna tell y'all, I get up in the morning and I might put on gospel that day, or I might put on Lizzo that day, or I might put on Kim that morning. But while I'm getting ready,
Yeah.
so it was one song she has, and it was saying, you know, in high school they called her this, they called her that, and same kind of
And you could
things.
relate.
And I was like, oh, okay. Because I just saw Lizzo on the TV, and, you know, the whole news where she wore this short thing at the
Yeah,
game. And I was
yeah.
like, let me see who this is, right?
Right.
Because I don't really follow them, you know, the R&B or the, you know, hip-hop artists like that. And I was like, let me pull her up on Pandora. So I started pulling up. It's like, yeah, she got a message. Even in the hip-hop, she's still, like, ministering to people, because people go through those things. So just because she's not saying God this, God that, she's sharing her journey
Her testimony.
and how did she get through it.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
And so that I think that's awesome too.
And the thing is, when people say she thinks she all of that, that's right. Because you know what it is? They're noticing the God in you.
I'm all of that and
Yeah,
something
because
things that you can't
you've been created in his image.
Yes.
And anything that he has created,
Yes.
that means he put his spirit inside of.
Yeah.
So when it comes to his spirit, it is awesome.
So when they say you all that, they
Yes,
still
I am.
missing
Right.
the mark.
Thank you. You've noticed God in me.
No, they still missing the mark.
And you know,
I'm
really
so much more than that.
look, time going so fast.
I know.
But I'm gonna say this too. I really hate when people compete in the church.
Right. Come on.
Like, why are we competing and we supposed to be all doing this for God?
Yes.
That's when you get away from the kingdom. But keep going.
But that's why it's so important.
Right.
And I mean this, and God is really taking us there now, because now it's really time to start focusing on kingdom work.
It is.
Yeah, it's time to start focusing on kingdom work and not the religion. And because that's what happens in religion. When you're inside of religion, then you get the mess that comes with it. Because the thing that fought against kingdom was religion.
Right.
That was the greatest obstacle.
That was the greatest obstacle of the church, of the religion, of kingdom, I mean.
And look, if you want to even pull it even further, Saul was very religious, and he was the one killing Christians. Religion kills the church. But listen, I have a couple of comments. Now, first of all, let me give a couple of shout outs. Pop Jesse,
my dad is on the phone. Finally, Dad, I miss you, man.
Dad is there.
Eagle Off War.
That's my cousin.
Eagle Off War.
Yeah, she been saying some good things too.
Listen,
I was trying to read.
Tracy, that's her name.
Tracy, it's so good to see you
Tracy,
tonight.
thank you so much.
Mia, so good.
Pastor Mia.
It's so good to see
my
you
niece
guys
is on there. I ain't
tonight.
see. She
That's
been quiet.
right. Lady Gail Johnson.
Hey.
It is such a pleasure.
Such a pleasure, Gail. Thank you so much.
Gladys is on the line.
What's up, daughter? That's our daughter.
Of course, we know Kenya's on the line. Y'all
And Pastor
listen.
Raphael Peters on the line.
Peter is on the line. Welcome to Shift Real Talk Tuesdays. Y'all, we are so happy to see you guys. Make sure you like and share and send this to someone who needs it. I have someone else here on the line that made me start the shout outs in the first place. We have Nicole Crittenton on the line.
Thank you, Nicole.
Well. And Zilla Musangu is on the line.
Thank you for checking us out.
Blessings to y'all. Black Mine Law is watching as well. I hope I know I messed it up. I am so sorry.
She did. She messed it up.
I messed it up.
But listen.
But y'all, listen, we got to keep it moving.
Listen, y'all, we are so excited about today's guest. Tiffani is an awesome artist. She's an anointed singer. And I think
we're going to need some more time, y'all.
We're going to need more time.
We're going to have to bring it back.
But I can help y'all with time today.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
all right.
That's fine.
So in other words, that's that hint, like, move on.
Okay.
That's that. Move on to the next question.
Because.
And they go Bay, right? Is that Bay right there? Is that Bay?
Yes,
sad.
it is.
Bay is good.
Is that Bay? So sad. Hey, man, I got to get with you in the studio,
okay,
Base.
baby. Okay, baby. Listen. So the obstacle, I really hope that we gave you opportunity to get some good information to push past the obstacle.
Yes, pushing through the obstacles, like I said, starting with that mental.
Yeah.
I have a journal. Well, I start journaling and writing.
Yeah.
Hey, positive things to myself. And like, this is what I'm going to do today. I am this.
Yeah.
I am that.
Yeah.
You know, focus on the good things that you've done. Because we are so like conditioned to focus on what we didn't do right.
Yep. Hard on ourselves.
Because that's what people, even at work, you know, people will overlook all the good you do, and they come and tell you you didn't do this. Da, 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 da.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's important, you know, the mental, and making sure we continue to tell ourselves how good we are at what we've done, despite of what we may have made mistakes on.
And you got to face the obstacle head on.
Right.
You got to actually sit down with it. You have to sit in it. You have to experience the entirety of every emotion that you feel. And sometimes it's good, like you said, the journal. Just write down, today, I'm upset behind this.
Yes.
Today, I went through this and it made me feel like this. Be honest with yourself about what you're going through. And you will get past the obstacles, because they're not there forever. It's temporary.
Right.
It's temporary.
So I want to kind of move on to this. I want to ask you, what do you believe are some of the things that could break generational curses?
Okay, so yes, generational curses is just what it is, right? It's a curse. I have never dealt with those kind of spirits, meaning curses and all of that. But there are people I've heard of and that I have unfortunately been in the midst of, God protected me, that I knew were dealing with those kind of spirits, because everyone is not praying to God or Jesus. Okay.
Right.
They have their own God, and their God may be, let's go get us some candles and we gonna work it our way.
Right.
And we're gonna mess up somebody's life our way instead of letting God handle it.
Right.
A curse is not easy to be broken. And you've got to really fight it. You've got to do more than what your family did, what your daughter did.
Right.
You've got to really push so that curse is broken.
Yeah.
If that means you have got to fast for a month to get some things broken, then you have to do that. You've got to, if you know that, Big Mama didn't go to work, you got to stay going to work. You got to stay pouring in. If you know Daddy used to do this to, whoever, you make it your business. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be better.
Yeah, you got to be intentional.
But see, people say, I want to break this. Example, I want to be a millionaire. No, you don't. If you can't get up and go work at Target.
Right.
How you going to be a millionaire and stay a millionaire and you can't keep a job? Come on now.
Can't start, right.
Because millionaires don't sleep. Because they got so many businesses to maintain, or they got so many lives they're trying to touch, and the flow is coming because of what they're doing, right? But they're never sitting down.
Yeah.
So everybody's talking, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be rich. You're not willing to put in the work. So that's where you gotta put in the work. You gotta get up, right? You gotta keep going. You gotta be consistent. Even some days I fall off, but I still keep getting up.
Right.
Some people stop. So you cannot say you want something better and you're not changing your actions.
And I think sometimes what people do is they see things in their generational line and they go to the extreme of. So if I saw something that I didn't like in my parents, then I'll say, I'll never do this to my child. Instead of looking at the balance. Okay, so it wasn't all bad what was going on. And it may have been for a good reason and they just didn't quite get it right. So what I have to do is I have to figure out what the balance is. But as I was sitting here listening to you, even on another note, when you was talking about the generational curses, I just want to say this. The thing that I heard was Jesus said, I became the curse for you. So that you won't have to be the curse. He broke the curse. And a lot of times, like you said, everybody ain't praying to Jesus and everybody's not praying to God, the God that sits on high, the Abba Father. Everybody not praying to God. So the thing is, there are some people out there still dealing with that kind of thing. But for people who have decided to be a child of God, he says, my children don't have to worry about generational curses because you're mine.
Right.
And I broke that for you. And I live on that. I don't have to do the same things my parents or their parents did. I don't have to go through the same stuff because if I know in my head that Jesus Christ died so that the curse will be broken from me, I'm just going to believe that. And I'm going to be intentional, just like you said. I'm going to be intentional. No, I'm not going to do this to my child, but I'm going to find a balance.
And so with that, how do we mentally get to the place where we know that God is the curse? He took the curse for us, right?
Yes.
Because some people, they don't know that.
Well, let me explain. And I know Pastor Jay got something too. But let me explain. The thing is, God says, I gave you the mind of Christ. Didn't he say that?
Yes.
Well, how in the world did you do that? He said, it's in the book. My whole thought process is in the Bible. It's in the kingdom book.
Right.
So read my mind.
Right.
Read it. How do you know that this and that needs to be there, that this needs to be placed over there? Because your whole life is a big puzzle, put a whole bunch of pieces put together. How do you know which piece goes where and what to do this and that? He says, read my mind. I gave you the mind of Christ. Read it.
Yes.
The more you read it, the more you will condition. And as an educator, you understand that human beings learn through repetition.
Yes.
You may not like the change at first if there is a change, but over time, as it continues to repeat itself, the old way end up being almost obsolete, and you don't even remember that way anymore because now you're doing it this way. Condition your mind, read his mind, and you will understand so much more stuff. You will have so much more
I want to read real
peace.
quick what Pastor Mia wrote. She said, "A renewed mind. The curse is carried from generation to generation by taught behavior.
Taught behavior.
Those things are verbally taught as well as nonverbal lessons." So, in other words, so when it comes to what we learn passed down from generation, the thing is, again, like my wife said, when there's something that we see,
Yes.
and it's something powerful about the eyes, because once we see it, we think about it. Once we think about it, then it becomes our behavior.
Oh my.
Then it becomes something that we do. So the thing is, to break it, we really have to be, and this is where the Bible says that people perish for the lack of knowledge.
He said, my people.
Yes, they perish before the lack of knowledge. So it
They
is, we
just
have
don't
to
know.
read how God would want us to do certain things.
Yeah.
So when we really understand that, and we put this big long, and it's like, no, just get the information.
Stop
so that
dying
we know,
around me.
so that we know how
Get
to
some
execute.
knowledge.
Yeah, so we
That's
know how to
definitely
execute.
true. My son, when he was 2, just learning to talk, and he started saying words, and he grabbed a piece of paper and a pencil, and I said, "What are you doing?" "I'm working." And it was amazing to me because, like, I never heard him say that word, but he saw and knew that, okay, mom is going work, or when mom comes home, she's working.
Yeah.
So exactly what you're saying, even from 2 on up, because students that I have and I have taught, like, oh, I don't have to do this because I'm just gonna get food stamps and I'll get government assistance, so there's not another view that they see as to why they need to work.
That's the whole thing. It's the perspective. And the thing about it is the perspective is in your subconscious mind. That's where it is. Right. The idle mind is the devil's workshop. If you keep pondering or thinking on that same thought, it's going to be his workshop. And anytime the devil has a workshop, he's building something.
Right.
He's building something.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have to talk about the biggest piece of you, your son.
Yes.
This is the biggest to me. You're a woman, you're an artist, you're a sister, you're all of those things, but you're a mother.
Yes. A lot of people don't know, some people do, but losing a child before I had him. And so, we can share that because a lot of people going through it. I had fibroids, and I found out I had a fibroid like as big as a cantaloupe.
Oh my.
I still have those pictures, but it was actually a size of a cantaloupe. So what happened was, of course, I got pregnant and it crushed, the baby.
My God.
Because it was in there. Right. I didn't have any idea. But then I went through, a depression, but then God said, I allowed that to happen so you could see what needed to be done to get yourself healthy and whole.
Oh, wow.
So that was really a ministry thing for me, because how many people are walking around with something that's hindering their body, hindering their growth.
My goodness.
And they don't know it.
Right.
Until something happens to show you what it is that needs to be corrected, you don't know.
My God.
You're just sinking, right? So we're going through life, but we don't know that, hey, what Uncle Bobby did to me has been eating at me.
Oh,
or,
wow.
What happened in school I never told anybody about
Wow.
has been eating at me. As long as something's there to hinder your growth, and the blessing is I was able to have my son, right?
Yeah.
But until we realize or know or come into the revelation of what it is that's harming us, We're just walking around thinking we're okay.
Aborting purpose.
Right. So God said, I allowed that to happen at that time because I'm taking you somewhere.
My God.
And so, yes, my son is like the biggest part of me. And some of the choices I made because children have no, they depend on us.
That's right.
They depend on the decisions of the adults around them. So if I choose to be battered in my mind and mentally and emotionally, that's going to trickle to him.
Right.
So parents have a duty. They didn't ask to come here.
Right.
So a lot of parents get that twisted for some reason. The blessing is your child you are blessed to have.
Right.
A lot of people don't get that blessing in life for whatever reason.
Right.
But it can happen if they fall on their face and ask God for and really surrender to God. There's a whole nother show. But the blessing is your charge is I gotta show this child the best I can.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's so many, they walk out that door and they're gonna see so many bad things.
My God, come on.
So if I'm not right, if I'm allowing hurt, if I'm allowing myself to be drugged down, that's what's going to trickle onto these children.
Wow.
And then we call it a generational
That's true,
curse.
based
Yes.
Really what it is learned behavior. We have to stop acting like everything is, ooh, God is, blah, 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 blah. No, some things are just what they are. It's learned behavior.
No, base. I got to stop him.
What? What did he just say?
No, but that's true though. It's true what he's saying.
It's true what he's saying, but that ain't where I am now.
Okay. I think he's saying it generally. He's saying
More
when
men
he
hit
said-
on you because they feel you're easy to get because you have low self-esteem. No. Some men like big women. So that's why I'm stopping him.
Right.
But there are situations where a man will prey on a woman's low
That's
self-esteem.
true.
Because he
Because-
thinks.
Yeah, because he thinks.
Not
Right.
because you are.
That's true. But there are somebody calling.
Going.
But there are men
Gotcha.
who prefer larger women over women. I mean, over smaller women.
Right.
So I don't want somebody that's watching to feel that because a man hits on them and they might be bigger, that it's because they feel they have low self-esteem. No.
Gotcha.
There are some men that prefer larger women.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's
So that's why I had to pause right
I know,
there.
I know.
Okay.
You know, but yes, there are men who get larger women
because
they think that they ain't gonna go nowhere. They gonna do whatever to
Right.
keep me.
Right.
I can do whatever I want
Right.
because she don't feel good about herself
My
to go
God.
out.
Come on.
But that's because she hasn't met people and been out to know that people like you just the way you are.
That's right.
That's true.
And the right man will
But the whole
cultivate
the
that.
thing is, like I said, and I understand what he's saying because I'm a man, so I know. So, you know, before God did some things into me, before God really, that I was that man that was because it was something that I was looking for. So I was attracted and didn't even know it. I was attracted to women with low self-esteem because, to be honest with you, my self-esteem was at an all-time low.
Wow. That's
So
very
so
transparent.
what you do is you look for where you are. You know when you
I
at a
get
low
you.
level, that's what you when you at a low level in your mentality,
yeah.
then that's what you are attracted to.
Yeah,
So
that's
but
true.
but the thing is, this
like
is why
that.
it's so important that especially for a man, because the scripture says for the man to go find his bride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So but the thing is, you have to be in that place in God so that you know that. So you're looking from God's level.
Right. Come on
Right.
now. Come on.
So,
come on.
so
come
that you're
on.
looking for how God is looking at it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
You know, so again,
So with that, you just told us, right? You were looking for somebody on that
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
And well, you
I didn't know. I didn't even know.
because you were there, right? So to the women that's watching, I need y'all to ask these brothers some questions.
yeah,
Come
you
on.
got to. You have to.
Because I don't want nobody that want me because they think I won't leave because I got low self-esteem.
But you got to know what to listen for, though, because they will tell you exactly what they think works and have worked for them to get the woman.
So that discernment,
you have to have it.
You got to pray for.
You have to have
And to be honest with you, I don't want you to leave. You know why? Because I want you to help me deal with what I'm dealing with.
Exactly.
Wow. So you have to stay and help unpack these bags that I don't know how to unpack.
Right. And to piggyback off that, you have to also stay, because as long as you're in the way, I don't have to look at myself.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with my insecurities because you blocking the view. So if I focus on you and your low for self-esteem and keep you at a low, then I don't have to look at the fact that I'm low too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to really stop and think about what is it that I'm connecting myself to.
Right.
And then on top of that, I connect myself to you, and next thing you know, oops, here comes a baby.
That's what comes out of it. Listen, y'all. Listen.
Oh my God.
Listen,
that's
y'all.
a
This
whole
is
nother girl. I was finna go into another podcast.
And can you have another baby? And can you have another baby?
And then when you have the baby, it's like, I ain't even want no baby. I ain't ready for no baby. Well, you don't get.
But you have to. But see, I'm just saying this for a minute. We gotta go, y'all. But the thing is, like I said, is where you are. So the thing is, just like some people go to food, some people go to alcohol, some people go to drugs. A lot of men go to women.
Right.
I know I did. That was my vice. Right. I went to other women. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To help me deal with and on top of that, and then what that did was when I didn't get the fix that I needed from her, then I would go smoke or I would go do but the whole point is God was nowhere in the picture.
Nowhere.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the whole point is, man, this is just what this show about. Tiffany, we get on the and once we start talking,
I know we need more time.
Right.
But I don't want. This is why women are down, and this is why, because people, I would say big women, people put them in this space, and it's like, okay, because you're big, you're not as good. Well, I'll just say that you're not as good. You're not important, right? You must have low self-esteem.
You must have. My God.
And that's why I'm here, right?
Right.
That's why I get my big self on Facebook and work out.
Come on.
Because I know you people talking about me.
That's all right.
But I'm doing it to show that I don't care what size you think I am. I still made progress. I still can push through this.
Right.
Because somebody else out there is dealing with, how do I get through this? They don't see big people doing this. So I'm just going to stay back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But even in being big, I'm still somebody.
Listen, that's really good. But I'm going to have to leave us with this.
Yes.
I just had this thought. I know it's him. He says, I made you fit, not just you, us. He says, I made you fearfully and wonderfully. Fearfully means respectfully.
Right.
You are respectfully and wonderfully made. He said he fashioned us.
Yes.
Before we was even formed in our mother's womb.
Yes.
He knew. He thought about us and then put a plan together and then say, okay, who I'm going to put to this plan? Oh, Tiffani R. Singz. I'm going to put her to this plan. Then he created you.
Right.
So it was a lot of thought from the King of Kings, from God himself, put into creating big, little, skinny, fat, tall, short. It don't even matter, because that was the beauty of the world, for all of us to be an individual able to do what he purposed for us to do in this world. And it was a sad day when society and the culture today caused all of us to have to want to be a carbon copy of somebody that we see. We need to get back to the individuality. That's how he created us. But y'all listen.
Y'all. Man, boy, Tiffani, you do it to us, girl. Yes, but we have to go. Listen, y'all. Next week, guest is another. She's a play
phenom.
right out. She's a phenom out
Yes.
here. Erica Bolden.
Erica,
She will be on next week.
Yes.
She will be on next week. She's one of Houston's best. She's in every play out here.
She's in every play.
She's in every play.
Yes.
She is a play. She's an actor.
She said she's going to give us an exclusive.
Yeah. So
Behind
we're gonna have
the
to get with
scenes.
Tiffani.
All right.
I don't want to keep taking up her time, but we're gonna have to bring you back sometime sooner in the near future.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna bring you on to the Real Talk Chicks.
Okay.
Because a lot of what we talking, we almost left Pastor J out because we talking.
Sure,
girl talk.
they sure did. But listen, hey, Beethoven, we're gonna have to get on and get us a little man talk going on,
but
so we can educate these women,
But
man.
until next Tuesday, may
Listen,
the Lord watch.
Cash App, Shift Movement, and listen, y'all, yeah.
May
Cash
the
App
Lord
if you want to be a
watch.
blessing.
May the Lord watch.
May the Lord watch between me and thee while we absent, one from another. In Jesus' name.
Until next Tuesday, we love you.
Peace.